You didn't see that? You didn't see that. Good night. Hey YouTube, it's Hala, and this is my first week update of my 12 weeks of keto experiment. So this week kind of didn't go as planned. My only thoughts going into the week were to drink more water and pretty much keep my diet as simple as possible. God had other plans. So the first day of the week, I was out all day visiting friends. And I had a good breakfast. I just had some like chicken for lunch and some cheese, which I don't usually eat cheese, but I was out, so I was like, okay, I just need something, eat other foods. And then I ended up staying for dinner. Dinner itself wasn't a problem. I ate a decent amount of raw fish, and instead of rice, which my friends ate, instead of eating rice, I replaced it with cabbage, and I did saute some cabbage for everybody. And my little like treat, aka the way I decided to get fat into that meal was mayonnaise. So I bought the mayonnaise that day. It was about 200 grams of mayonnaise. And usually I only buy the 50 gram because I know stuff like mayonnaise is just gonna go away. I'm just gonna eat it all up. There's something about it. It's a trigger food for me. After I got home, I did have a lot of the remaining mayonnaise with the remaining like a quarter head of cabbage. At the end of the day, I had about 3,500 calories. So I was like, oh, here I go starting this plan and I'm just eating way too much. My macro percentages were okay, but it was way too many calories. The next day, of course my weight went up a little. It went up 0.4 kilo. And I'll show you guys all the graphs at the end of this segment, but let me just kind of narrate really quickly how the days went. I didn't have much food in my house, so I didn't eat breakfast, and I went out to visit my old school, and I was out past lunch. For some reason, on my way home, instead of buying something like eggs or chicken, I bought a jar of peanut butter, a little 340 gram jar of peanut butter. I bought it knowing it was possibly going to be eaten that day. Like, anything remotely liquid is a trigger food. In my moment of weakness, the last thing I want to do is be real, but this is my weakness. Peanut butter is basically a liquid. Just bought this today. Done. Like, that wasn't even hard to get down. It's literally anything remotely liquid or not solid. And I got the crunchy one too. It's just gone. Yeah, I ate the whole jar. And in maybe 20 minutes. It was just go, go, go. It doesn't register as food in my brain. It's like a liquid. It's a cream thing. It's not food enough for me to become satiated. So even after I finished that whole jar of peanut butter and I was like, well, this was 1,900 calories, I'm done for the day, I wanted real food. I needed like actual nutrients. So I did have a huge like spinach salad with a ton of ground chicken to just give me real food. And at the end of that day, it was again about 3,500 calories. So here, starting this 12 weeks of keto, and in the first 2 days, I go and overeat. I was like, what is going on? But most people will start off strong and then crash, a few weeks in. So I was like, okay, maybe it's good. I'm getting my crashing out now, and I can just get stronger and stronger throughout this process. So I took the negative and turned it into a positive and said, okay, now I can approach this keto diet, this keto lifestyle as someone who's been knocked out, or they've just been struggling and kind of doing the wrong things. Now, this is the first thing that I want to talk about in this video. The egg fast. Again, I'm not doing keto specifically to lose weight, so I never considered doing the egg fast before. However, because I had eaten so many calories the past 2 days, I was like, what the heck? Let's do the egg fast. It's simple. I don't have to buy extra groceries. I just need to buy egg. No brain work. I like eggs. I like butter. I'll just give it a go for as long as I can. The first 2 days, I found out I had these. It's morning voice. It's morning voice here. It's April 22nd, and I was gonna start the egg fast. Look what I forgot. Oh no. Yeah, I had 2 avocados that were like ripe and ready to go. So I was like, okay, I'll just have one avocado each day. It's still a healthy fat, and I'll still eat the eggs and everything else as usual, and that will be like the only like carb input in my egg fast. So I had an avocado each day for egg fast day 1 and 2, and then egg fast day 3 and 4, I was perfect, just eggs and fats. There are a couple rules of the egg fast, so let me just illustrate them really quickly. The first rule is that you need to eat 1 tablespoon of a healthy fat with every egg that you consume. So 1 tablespoon of butter, olive oil, coconut oil, whatever, healthy fat. The second rule is you need to have at least 6 eggs a day. The third rule is that you can have cheese on the egg fast, but you can have up to an ounce per egg. For my egg fast, I chose not to eat any cheese because a lot of cheese tends to be a trigger food for me as well, especially the softer cheeses. I'll talk more about that in a second. The next rule is you need to drink a lot of water. Some people recommend 100 ounces every day, but in general, just drink a lot of water. You can have some artificial sweeteners on the egg fast. You should drink only water, but there's no real rule that says you can't have coffee, so a lot of people will have bulletproof coffee. I do not drink coffee, so no coffee. So basically, my egg meals looked like these. Real simple. I wanted this to be as simple as possible, so I had omelets, scrambled eggs, and boiled eggs. Sometimes I would combine 2 different, like I'd have scrambled eggs and a boiled egg to kind of like mix up the texture, but I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't, make egg puffs or egg pancakes or whatever the recipes are. I just wanted this to be simple. I didn't want to think about it. The other thing that I allowed myself to do is like, okay, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry. And it turned out to be like 9 or 10 eggs a day would fill me up. So pretty much since I started the egg fast, I was hitting 1900 calories each day, which turns out is just a slight bit under maintenance for me. So I did the egg fast for 4 whole days, and on the 5th day, I finally broke it. It wasn't that I was tired of eggs, but I went and did something stupid and bought another trigger food. This is what I bought today. I did buy more eggs, then I bought some chicken thigh meat, and the part that I probably shouldn't have bought is the stevia erythritol sweetener sugar thing, cream cheese, and cocoa, 100% pure cocoa. Like I mentioned, cheese can be a trigger for me, and buying that cream cheese thinking I could make like fat bombs or like a keto-friendly low-carb dessert was a bad idea from the start. Personally, I don't think the cocoa or the 0-calorie sweetener is my problem, because those I can get tired of easily, but with the mayonnaise, with the peanut butter, with the cream cheese, those are all like a not real solid consistency. They're spreads, they're dressings, and those are the foods that I tend to just indulge and almost like I know I shouldn't have them, so I mentally convince myself to finish them so they're out of my house. But now it's on record that they are trouble, and hopefully I do not get them again. So, what were my results of the egg fast? Again, I was eating 1900 calories a day, which was about 9 to 10 eggs plus all the fat. I was eating at what I thought was maintenance. Let me show you the graphs here of my weekly weight loss and body fat tracking. So if you look at the graph on the left, you can see my weight over the week, okay? So I started at about 171.6 pounds. After my 2 days of super overeating, I went up to 172.9 pounds. So there was about almost 1.5 pound gain there. As I did the egg fast, I consistently lost about half a pound a day. So I did lose the weight that I gained while overeating, and I officially lost a pound. If you look at the graph on the right, that is my body fat percentage over the course of the week. It did go up with my overeating, and then it kind of slowly went down through the egg fast, but it did stall out in the past 3 days. So the total body fat loss was 1 pound, which is actually really good. To be honest, while I was doing the egg fast and I was getting on the scale every morning, my scale is in kilograms, so it was only 0.2 kilos, and that didn't process in my head as like a significant amount of weight. I also wasn't going to the bathroom, so I was concerned about being constipated, but eventually the bloating did go down. I wasn't bloated anymore. I didn't go to the bathroom for like ever. But even though I wasn't going to the bathroom, I was still losing weight. I was losing fat. Another good result of this egg fast was because I let myself eat until I was satiated, I found out that my satiation level is about 1900 calories. So now as I continue this experiment, I can decrease my calories more accurately. So the last thing I want to talk about in regards to the egg fast and just this past week in general was the physiological effects it had on me. I mentioned being constipated and not being able to go to the bathroom. Today was like the first day that I had like real bowel movements, but I'm pretty sure that was because of the cream cheese I ate yesterday, which sometimes milk products will mess me up. Not always, not all kinds of cheese, but maybe cream cheese is one of those special ones. So I was a little constipated, but after a while, like I didn't feel like I needed to go to the bathroom as much. I was kind of getting used to it, and again, my body was making progress. The second thing was energy. I was sleeping better, but there would be some days that I would feel nauseous when I went to bed. Like I would try to lay down and go to sleep, and I would feel nauseous and not be able to sleep for probably an hour. It's after midnight, it's like 12:30 or something, and I've been trying to go to sleep for over an hour, and I just feel so nauseous. Like I want to throw up so bad. Oh my god. The last time I felt this way was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago when I first started keto. So I thought that I was going through the keto flu, like mine was the nauseous side effect. And here I am trying to go to sleep, and I'm just laying here feeling miserable. Like I'm sure the past 2 days really kicked me out of keto, which initially was not my intention. I don't think it is ever something you should do. You should never leave keto. It was never to the point of actually throwing up. However, peanut butter, I felt horrible. And then I only felt nauseous one more time, which was about egg fast day 3, and that day I felt like I ate 10 eggs, but I felt like I didn't really need to eat 10. Like I could have stopped at 7, but I wanted that full feeling, so I did have a few more eggs. And the last thing was energy in general. I believe that my energy remained very steady, Not a super high, very, very energetic kind of energy, but my kind of energy, which is very steady throughout and like very calm. In general, I felt like I was getting better sleep and I was able to wake up in the mornings a lot easier. So that was my review of this past week, including 2 days of overeating, a 4-day egg fast, and then another day of trigger foods. However, I did not overeat. Again, once I had consumed about 1900 calories, my body was like, you're full, you're good, stop eating. Okay, so I know the video is already really long, but I do want to talk about this upcoming week. I will be eating out 3 times this week. It's Thursday now. One of my good friends here is having a birthday party on Saturday night. Then Sunday for lunch, I promised to meet a coworker and friend of mine for some Indian food. And then Tuesday night, it's kind of a big dinner drinking party with coworkers from my old school. So I definitely don't want to miss that. Now, I have absolutely zero intention of going off low carb or keto during those days out. I already know that at both my friend's birthday party and at the Indian restaurant that I can stay, that I'll have no problem eating low carb. I've done it before and I know what to eat at those restaurants. However, the dinner drinking party next Tuesday is probably going to make me feel guilty more than anything for not eating a lot of the food that they will have. It'll be a challenge, but this is part of the experience, you know? Figure out how to live your life doing low carb and keto, especially in Japan. Again, I will be eating out 3 times this week, but I do want to kind of lower my calorie intake and see how that affects me. Those are my only 2 objectives over the next week, but we'll see what happens, because look how week 1 turned out. It just kind of went way over in left field. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Again, please comment below if you're doing keto or low carb. I'd love to hear your guys' stories. The next update will be on Thursday, May 4th. Once again, I will keep track of my macros, my weigh-ins, and all the things so I can share with you guys the data and you can see for yourself how this is going. So thank you guys again. I hope you have a great day. It's already night here, so I'm just gonna finish up some writing and go to bed. And I will see you next week.